Okay, I think I'm live. Okay, so this is a Twitch stream and I am live right now. And I'm not feeling my best. I've been under a lot of stress right now, but I'm not going to talk about that, okay? I'm not going to talk about that because I don't trust anyone. I really don't trust anyone. And I know I have a bad habit of spilling my guts to the world in my videos. And there's nothing really wrong with that, but I just unfortunately lost a friend recently, someone that I thought was a friend anyway. So I'm not, it's just kind of a weird thing, but I want to get back to chess. Now, you see here above me it says Chastity's Chess Challenge, but I actually changed the title of the Twitch stream for this episode to Chastity's Chess Programming Challenge because something has happened here. I am on winter break from school, and tonight is Christmas Eve, and I get the night off from work at Walmart tonight. They had me work Monday night instead of tonight. So my phone is off, my mom is asleep, there's a lot going on, but so a long time ago, I made this program called Chase Chess, and I'm going to be showing it to you. But unfortunately, it became too complicated. And then I got busy with work and school, and so for like 5 or 6 months, I've abandoned this project of a chess program that I started. I haven't done anything with it because there's been no time. And I decided I needed to start fresh on a new project while not abandoning the spirit of what I was doing with the other project and copying lots of code from it, but for a very specific purpose. Um, Instead of just talking about it, I need to show you. I'm going to be switching to desktop view, and then you will see everything that's on my desktop on my Windows 11 computer. So here's what we got going on. Here's OBS Studio here. You see I've got my microphone on. It shows me the audio levels, so that's good. And here's my desktop here. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to my programming stuff here, and I'm going to show you. So this is a program I made. It's called Chase Chess. And it starts out not doing much, but then when you start clicking on it, things begin to happen. Notice that when I click on a square, that square changes color, an empty square. But notice that when I click on these chess pieces, it highlights the potential moves it could make, as well as there's some text in the top left. So, for example, if I click here, it shows a pawn can move 1 or 2 squares. It's white's turn. White starts the game. It shows the knight can jump to these green squares, but this red square is a place it would jump, except that there's a pawn of the same color there, so it can't. And note the text, for example, this is the A2 pawn, and it has an arrow pointing to question mark because we don't know where that pawn is going to move to yet. So let me show you an example of how this goes. So we click the D2 pawn, and then we click the D4 square. It's D2 to D4. So it has, this is not portable game notation. This is just a notation I came up with where you're moving a piece from one square to another. So understand, this is chess. This is totally chess here, but it's my own chess game I made. And so then black moves this pawn, and then we reach the queen's gambit. And also notice this really cool sliding animation. The sliding animation is one that I designed where the pieces, it causes like this trail of rainbows, which is really cool. It's a lot of fun. So that's nice and all that. But here's the thing, this chess program, although it looks pretty, there's a lot it can't do. I can't save and load files. I can't, I can't play back a series of moves. And so this project, as cool as it may be, I decided that I wanted to do a different kind of project. Um, and so I've been working on it because we're going to close this program. And then if you look at the source code here, if you look at this, I'm going to select these files. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 source files. 10 source files. It's already getting to be big and kind of unmanageable. And also, I'm embarrassed to show you this, but here is, if you look at, for example, this input code, I wrote all this. This is horribly messed up. I have, for this function move piece, it does all of this stuff. And what it's doing is it's grabbing the correct rectangle from a chess image to get the correct piece. But the way I did this is horribly inefficient. And this program is getting too complicated for me. People say playing chess is complicated. No, but writing a chess program is. And I don't have the patience or the intelligence to do what I was trying to do with it. But I wrote all this and I got some basic things working. But here's the problem I started having with the input. The problem I had with this program was the input, because trying to grab the mouse input, the keyboard input, trying to make sense of it and then interpret it in a way. There's so much that was complicated. And also the way this worked is all of the chess pieces for that were all loaded from this one file. This is a file, you see it has alpha transparency for the background, and then the pieces are loaded the same way they would appear in a typical chess set. But I realized having everything loaded from one image was just not a good way to do it. It just wasn't a good way to do it. And so what I've been doing here is I've made a new project. I call it PGN Chase Chess. Now that's what I am calling it right now. The other one was SDL Chase Chess because it uses the SDL library. Now this new project also uses the SDL library, but it's a little bit different. And I will explain this. PGN stands for programming game notation, which is similar to portable game notation, because I have this idea. I have this wild idea that I'll explain more in detail here. First, let me click on this, and you see that we have a window here. We have a window here, and we have a chessboard, but we don't have any pieces here. Now, this text window is trying to load the pieces, but I want to show you how this works. First, I'm going to be checking the comments. Nobody is watching my stream right now. That's totally fine. That's totally fine. If somebody does want to comment or watch, that's fine. But the main thing about this is just a Twitch stream while I work on my programming project, but I'm trying to explain as I go what it is I'm actually working on. So we're going to right click and we're going to open a terminal here. And I'm going to show you, we're going to do, that this is a batch script that compiles and runs the program. So, okay, so there we go. So it shows that. And the reason I did this from a terminal is because then it will show me here. It shows me the text. So it is loading, it is actually loading an image here. Okay. Very interesting. Huh. Okay, yes, this is actually good. This is actually good here. Yeah. All right, I'm just making sure everything is right here. Image. Yeah, this is good. So it's loading an image, it's loading a white pawn from a very specific file, but it's not displaying on the screen. That's because I have not yet written the code to do so. So here's what we're going to do here is we are going to go to this folder. We have a load pieces function here, and it tries to, you give it a one argument of a file name, and it tries to load a texture. Now here I've made a mistake here because we're supposed to load a black pawn here, so this needs to be BP, and then we're going to recompile and rerun the program here. Okay, great. So interestingly now, it's showing that, oh, I see, I forgot to have a new line here. Okay, we need to have a new line, so we need to put a backslash n there. And then when I redo it, it will show correctly. So we still aren't showing any pieces, but you see what it does is this is text designed to show me what it's doing. So it shows that it was loaded and what the texture dimensions are. They're supposed to be 90 by 90. And that's because the math of this is 720 pixel chessboard each way. A perfect 720 square divided by 8 is going to be 90. So each chess piece has to be its own image, and it has to be 90 by 90 pixels. So the numbers have to be accurate. And notice it says square size difference is 0. If this value is 0, it fits correctly into a square of the chessboard. So everything is right. All of the code is correct, but the pieces are not displaying. So here's what we actually have to do. I have to copy code from another thing here. So what I need to do here is because see now this file here, this is all about drawing the checkerboard. We have a main check, global structure, main check, and it keeps track of where the checkerboard is drawn. And the exact color is always meant to be shades of gray. That's the way it's designed. And so this is only meant to be shades of gray. This is meant to be grayscale. So it's not meant to be doing funny colors. It's not even intended for that. I would have to rewrite the whole thing. Now this file was directly copied. So this just draws the checkerboard. It's a small file. And then if we go to this one, now this is where it knows the chess pieces, because if you look at here how it displays this, now the problem is in this plain text mode, there's no way to differentiate between black and white pieces in plain text. So this is only meant to show that they are loaded into there, but it doesn't mean that they are correctly, for a certain color. This is only meant to be a text representation. So all of the initial values for the chess pieces here is all just a character string. It's all just a character string, and it has a single letter representing each piece here, which works for this case because there's only 6 types of pieces. But then what it does is it has a separate array of black and white that it uses to determine whether that piece is white or black. So it's a little bit complicated here, the way it works, and I will have to copy a lot of code in order to really do this correctly. That's the thing about it. So it's a little bit complicated. So first of all, it has this concept of a chess grid. So it initializes the main grid, and it takes, see okay, so I'm trying the structure of a chess piece. It has a color, black or white, which is W or B. It has an ID, which would be like P for pawn, Q for queen, K for king, N for knight, because knight begins with K, but K is already used for king. We all know that. If you know chess notation, you know that you have to do this. And so it has like a structure. There's a chess piece, and so it has to keep track of. And in this program, it even keeps track, or in the original program, was copied from. It kept track of how many times that particular piece has moved. So it's literally a 64 grid of chess pieces. 8 by 8, 64. It does this fancy math. And so this is all for representation of the chessboard. It's mostly accurate. There may be bugs in it that I haven't found, but it's still pretty good. Um, so, and this is for checking whether moves are legal. Now, keep in mind, I can leave this as is because the way this is meant to work, let me tell you, the way this is meant to work is that it's not supposed to check whether a move is legal or not. It's not supposed to. Now, in the original program that I was pointing and clicking on the piece of moving, it is supposed to. But in this particular program, it's not meant to do that. The point is that I should be able to programmatically move the pieces the way I want. But we're running into a problem here because I actually have to load code from a previous thing here. So we're going to open this folder in a new tab, and then I'm going to, okay, chess graphics. Let's see, is this the one? Now this draws text. It uses a font and everything, and it's kind of weird because I had my own font, and this one isn't necessarily meant to draw text. I would have to copy a lot of code, but I want to keep this program simple, so it may not ever draw any text at all. It may only print text to the console. That's kind of how I want it to be. But here we have to figure out, okay, let's see here. Okay, let's see here. We're going to, yeah, that draws the game scene. But this may or may not be used, not only certain things. I need to find a way to load the correct thing. Yeah, because that draws the highlights. The highlights are irrelevant because the pieces will be programmatically moved in this example program that I'm working on. So I need to go to chase chess image. Okay, so this one, yeah, this is where I copied the original thing where it loads the pieces, but then it has to select the source, and then it has to move it. But okay, chess grid draw pieces. Okay, so this is where it gets complicated. This is where it gets really complicated. Because this particular thing is it has to go through the entire it has to go through the entire array. Yeah, chess grid draw pieces, and it has to go through each one, the entire thing, 64 elements, and then it has to correctly draw the correct image. But this one is complicated. It's very verbose. It's very long, and that was a testing image, so it's very long. It really needs to be redone. So here's what we're actually going to do. We're going to copy this. We're going to copy this function, and because this depends on other code present in the original project, it's not going to compile correctly, and I know that in advance. I already know this is going to cause problems. But here's what we're actually going to do. We're going to just copy this because this loads images here, but then we're going to paste this into this file from the original file. And then we're going to rename it too, because we want to, okay, we're, instead of chess grid draw pieces, we're just going to, okay, yeah, we're going to just chess draw pieces. I just want to shorten the name. That's all it really is. Plus, I want to keep it separate from the original function. So now, if we try to recompile and rerun this thing, now, amazingly, it did not actually, it didn't have any bugs. I'm actually quite surprised that it didn't, because I just copied a whole function from, I think I know why. I think the reason it didn't cause any bugs is because the function is never actually called. So even though the code is correct because all the variables it depends on are present, so it didn't cause any compilation bugs, but it hasn't actually been run okay, so here's what we got. We're going to go back to here. We're going to, for the new project, the main, so what we're going to do is notice that, okay, so it creates a window, it attaches a renderer to the window, yeah, and yeah, there we are. Okay, yes. And so this is where it's printing the text, and here we are drawing the checkerboard. First, it's setting the fill color. It fills the whole screen with a certain color. And then it draws the checkerboard to it for the opposite color. All right, there we go. So then we're going to, yes, there we are. All right, here we are. There we go. And yeah, we're going to call this function chess draw pieces. Okay, but notice it didn't really do anything. Yeah, see this program, I'm surprised it didn't cause any bugs. Also, I want to try something. We're just going to set this value here to 255 and see what happens here. We're just going to try this. Yeah, okay. So there's the background. Right there is C. That's the background. Is green, and then it's drawing the checkerboard on top of that, which is fine. That's totally fine. But we're just going to, yeah, let's undo that, have it back to black. Yeah, okay, that's totally fine there. Okay, there it is. So what it's trying to do here, because this is the, okay, there's the original. Okay, so now we're just in the new project. So it's trying to draw the pieces, but here's what it's trying to do. It's going through, and then if p.id equals 0, then it prints it. Okay, it tries to sprintf the text to see PID. Okay, that's weird. Okay, I'm not sure why it does that, because there's not even a printf statement. I mean that's useless, but it's not causing any bugs, so let's leave it alone. Okay. Oh man. So here's what it's doing. It's trying to load. It's setting the rectangle of x to, yeah. There's a global rectangle. It's just named rect. So rect. So here's the thing. Rect. Let's see here. There's rect destination, and there's rect source. So here's what we have to do. So we have rect source and rect destination. So here's what we have to do. So what this is doing is it's setting a different value for the source rectangle, which is just named rect in this particular example. And it's trying to set different x and y values for each individual thing. And that's not exactly what we want. Because remember, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use source rect. So we have, okay, now this is rect, copying the rectangle to rect destination. So I think what we'll actually do here is, yes. Okay, that's good. Okay, so what we're actually going to be doing is, all right, so here's what we actually need. Okay, I'm realizing how this is meant to work because see we have a texture pointer. Okay, yeah, this code is complicated. So so SDL texture. All right, so here's what we're actually going to do. So what we're actually going to do here is if okay, so this is where it gets weird here because here we have all of these different. Okay, so though this is if the color is black, and then what the ID is based on that color. So here's what we're going to do. So if the color is black, then we're going to okay. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. So that we're going to set texture if the color is black, then the texture is going to be set to pawn black. Okay, there we go. That's what we're going to do. Yeah, so texture is going to be set to pawn black. Yes. And then, yeah. But if the color of the piece is white and then it's a pawn, the ID is a pawn, then we're going to set the texture to pawn white. Okay, let's see here. This is really freaky. It's probably going to mess up the program. Okay, it didn't crash, which I'm really surprised. Yeah, I'm honestly very surprised that it hasn't crashed. But here's the thing. So what we have here, we need to clarify this program because I don't want because just rect is fine for some cases, but we want rect source and rect destination to be separate. So what we're going to do is we're going to make it very clear by using the rect source variable what is happening here. It still doesn't do anything. That's funny. Okay, so what we have here, we need to make sure that rect source is okay. Well, okay. First of all, t-rect size. Okay. First of all, I want to. Okay. I want to make sure it prints the value of t-rect size because it's going to be attempting to draw the pieces here. Okay. So t-rect size. Huh. Wait a minute. That's weird. Okay, so t-rect size equals 0. Wait a minute. Okay, let's see. Where's t-rect size? Okay. T-rect. Okay, where is t-rect size? Is that that's a variable here. Okay. All right. I think I know what's wrong here because, oh, wait a minute. Oh, I feel like an idiot. I attempted to draw the pieces. I look. Okay. I tried to draw the pieces before I loaded the pawns. Okay, we need to fix that right away. Yes. First, we have to actually load the pawns before we try to draw the chess pieces and render to the screen for the first time. I had the order wrong. I feel like such an idiot. Okay, now T-Rex size equals 90. Okay, that's meant to be. Yes, that is correct. That's meant to be T-Rex size equals 90. Okay, it's meant to be 90. So then what we have to do is we have to make sure that in this function, we are going to be, okay, let's see here. So we have, okay, let's do rect source. In this case, we're going to be doing this, changing all of this to, okay, the rect dest code is right there. Okay, so we're going to be doing, okay, let's leave that code alone just for right now. Okay, we're going to, okay, now actually, wait, okay, rect, wait, no, now, okay, I think I know what to do. I'm getting confused. Okay, yeah, we're just going to change all of these to, wait a minute. Oh, I see. Wait a minute. Okay. Okay, yeah, here's what we're going to do. Rect source.w equals, yeah, okay. First we're going to, yeah, first we're going to print the value of T-Rex size there, and then T-Rex size is meant to be the, okay, the width and height here. Yeah, so the width and the height of the rect source is meant to be, there it is. There it is. Okay, I get it. Rect height, so T-Rect size either way. But then we need to have, okay, so rect source X and rect source Y is always going to be 0 because it's going to be 0, 0, the top left, to 90, the bottom right of the image, because that is never going to change. So what this means is all of this code here, okay, we're going, this code within all of these things that modify the rect.x and y values, all of those are irrelevant now and can be deleted because rect x and y never changes. Never, ever, ever. It never changes because it's always meant to be 0. We only have those values because SDL requires its rectangles for its image drawing functions to have an X, a Y, a W for width, and H for height. And X and Y are the geometric coordinates. Okay, but then rect destination here is check left, which is where the checkerboard begins, and okay, plus x1, okay, what's x1? Okay, where's x1? Okay, it's plus x1. Okay, how do I know where x1 is? Okay, oh, okay. x1 equals x times main check dot rect size. Okay, so it's looping through the image, so x and y is going to go from every value to 0 to 7. It's going to be always less than 8. So then for each one of those, it's through this loop, it's going to do that. Okay, so, oh wow. Okay, guys, that's funny. That's actually really funny because somehow I got it a little bit messed up. Okay, so I think I know why it's displayed this way. My code is really, it's starting to work. The fact that it's displaying any pawns at all now, I can click anywhere, but it does nothing because this program is not meant to accept user input. It's not meant to. It's meant to only be changed by the programmer, which makes it easier for me psychologically to handle. So notice how it does that. Notice how what it's doing is it's trying to draw. Let's see here. Okay, what we need to do. So it's very interesting because okay. So we need to, okay, so yeah, so let me see here. So then okay, so if the ID is not 0, so if the piece exists, it's going to do this whole thing and draw, whereas it won't draw anything otherwise. So here's what we actually have to do. We actually have to, in order to get it to draw the correct pieces, we have to add the other pieces, and we have to get it to load the correct piece, because it sets the texture. Okay, okay, so here's what we have to do. First of all, this, okay, so yeah, that's weird. Rect destination is always going to be, yeah, okay, yeah. So that's, yeah, we can actually delete those right there because I don't think it makes a difference for this particular case. Yeah, it doesn't. Okay. So here's what we got going on here. We're going to indent this. We're going to be adding more variables. We are going to, because, so first, yeah, so this, yeah, so here we go. So there's load pawns. All right, load pawns. And we're going to, okay, we're going to create, I know it seems dumb, but I'm going to make a separate function for each type of chess piece. So we're going to do, next we're going to do, for the rooks. Okay, we have rook white and rook black. Okay, and then we're going to just create a separate, we're going to create a separate function here for loading rooks. It will keep it simple and organized rather than just having huge functions. Breaking into smaller functions is going to make it easier. So here's the thing. Okay, first of all, what I need to do is I need to go to the pieces folder, and we have, okay, black pawn and white pawn. First of all, these need to be capital P. It's still working, but we want to make them capital P. And this will be white rook and black rook. So those are going to be capitals too for the rooks. And we're going to load the rooks. We're going to add that. So right after we load the pawns, we're going to load the rooks. Now, let's see here. I'm going to show you something. If notice it said it couldn't open it, yeah, so it could not open the rooks. It couldn't do it. So that's a little weird, isn't it? So the program is ceasing to function now because it couldn't load those. So what we need to do here is we need to create those files. So here's the way it's going to work. I have the SVG files. So first I'm going to open this black rook SVG file in Inkscape, the program I use for art. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to, so then we're going to export it as a 90 by 90 pixel image. We're going to just export that. We export the black rook, then we close that, but we don't save it. Then we're going to open the white rook. Yeah, we're going to open the white rook file. And you can export these SVGs to anything. These images I actually took from Lee Ground. It's the Merida chess set that I'm using. The idea, though, is to be able to change at will the pieces by simply replacing the files. That's the idea. Okay, so now we have white rook. So now that we have exported the black and white rook, we're going to cut those from this folder. Then we're going to put them in the 90 folder. And now that we've done that, we're going to recompile and rerun the program here. Interesting. Okay. Now it's acting a little bit funny here. Okay, I think I know why it's doing this. I think I know why. Because what it's trying to do, it is trying to, ooh, because it's, okay, something is wrong here. Something is very bad wrong. Okay, so okay, so it's loading the rooks, and then when it's drawing the pieces, okay, so but it's setting the texture to pawn white there, and then it's always whatever the value of texture is. Okay, so let's look, we have to look at texture. Okay, so texture is there, it's there. Okay, yeah, those are okay. STL texture. So, okay, let's look at this. So, why is it always setting the texture pawn white? So it's set, okay, so that's weird because it's setting the oh, of course, I'm an idiot. Look at this. Pawn white equals load piece, and then it loads the rook. Okay. I reassigned the variable. Okay, see, this is why breaking it down into small sections makes it easier to read. The code's going to be readable. That's the point. Okay, so we need to have the rook. Okay, so now it's only showing pawns. Why is it now only showing pawns? That's because we need to add the proper code to, okay. Okay, so here it sets the texture to pawn black, but here we're in the rook conditional. Okay, texture equals rook black. Okay, perfect. And then we're going to have it be, yeah, okay, so then texture equals, okay, texture equals, okay, so here it's the white rook. So here we are, rook white. Okay, there we go, rook white. So now it will change the texture. Okay, interesting. So now it displays the pawns and the rooks. It tries to replace every other chess piece. So the knight and the bishop and the queen and the king are replaced with rooks because we haven't added their images yet. So I am making progress. I'm totally making progress here. Wow. Okay, I'm making progress because now images are starting to load. We're trying to get things displayed on the screen. Now, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to close my text editor here, and I'm going to back up some files. Let me check comments. Okay, no comments. Nobody's watching the stream right now, but that's totally fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go to my GitHub account. Okay, so github.com. I have all my GitHub repositories. Okay, so Chased Chess. I'm using, okay, so the source code for the other one that I point and click to move pieces, that's all here in source. But in this folder, PGN Chase Chess, we have the current project. It's a sub project of the other project, really. It's not that separate, but it's meant to be a smaller, simpler program. So we're going to just copy all the files except for the executable, and we're just going to, let's call this first working draft, and needs the rest of the pieces. Only pawns and rooks work right now. Okay, perfect. Now the actual images that I'm creating while I'm still working on the project, they are not part of this this GitHub repository yet because I'm still in the process of creating them. So it is what it is. That was mostly just to that was mostly just to be able to back up the files because I've made amazing progress. So here's what I have to do. In order to get this program working, it's essential we first have to create the rest of the pieces. So it's as painful as it is, we're just going to go in the order they appear, except for the ones I've already done. So first, let's do, there's probably a faster way than doing what I'm doing too, but I know how to export things correctly with Inkscape, so that's just the way I'm going to do it. So we have Black Bishop, export it at 90 by 90 pixels. There we go. And then let's see, can we close that one? Yeah, we're going to close that document, and then we're going to open. Let's just, let me see if I can, yeah, let's see here. Chess book, okay, Chastity, chess sets. Okay, there we are. And we have, oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. I'm in the programming folder. So I would have to navigate all the way to this complicated directory structure. So it actually is better if I just instead open them from here, because then at least it exports into the right folder. So it's a pain. It's a real pain to open each individual one. But for this stream, instead of playing chess, I'm showing the entire process, because let's be real, programming is boring, and I know people are probably not entertained by this, but I am sharing this in the stream partly because this will be a permanent record to myself of my programming stuff. And trust me, there's going to be some nerd out there. I don't know who they're going to be. There's going to be some nerd somewhere that actually watches this stream, watches this video where I published it later, and then they're like, whoa, this person wrote this chess program and it's displaying the chess pieces on the screen. Most people don't get excited about that, but if you're a programmer and you know how hard computer programming can be, then you might appreciate it. You just might. So now here we have that. All right, so we already had the pawns and the rooks. We copied them into their correct folder. And now we are exporting all of this. Okay, we got all of those. Let's just check on these files. So these are the other 4 pieces here, the black pieces we have. So now we have to go on to, okay, we have the white bishop. Yes, the white bishop is another one that we haven't done. We don't have the white bishop image created yet. We have to create all of them. They have to be 90 by 90 pixels. It all has to be done just the right way. Otherwise, none of this is going to work right. Okay, we got the white bishop made, and then the white king. All right, there we go. So we've got, there's our white king. And then we do the white knight. Okay, this is getting really freaky. All right, now here's our white knight. Keeping all of the images separate, it sort of makes it easier because that way if there's a problem with one file, I only have to edit that one file instead of having to edit a whole image containing all of them individually and then doing math for the coordinates. Sure, it means the file has to be loaded separate from a programming perspective, so it takes more code. Well, no, actually, it doesn't take more code because we're reducing the code needed for the math to process which part of this image contains this chess piece. So yeah, this might actually be the easiest way I'm doing it. Okay, so now that we've done this, we're going to cut all of the images, Control X, then we're going to put them in the 90 folder here. And now if we rerun this program, we're just gonna rerun there. Okay, wait, oh, that's right, we haven't added the code to select the texture. So we still have, there's still one more step here. Oh, we also have to load them all. That's right, we have to load all of the images here. Okay, so there's a lot of code that needs to be added. I know it's insane, but this is how we're gonna do it. We're going to chase chess pieces. Let's just, okay, so we're going to do, okay, let's do that. Okay, so we got the pawns, the rooks. So now we're going to do, yeah, so then knight. Okay, so knight and knight and yeah, yeah. Then okay, we got knight and knight, and then we replace this with WN and BN. And then we have bishop white. Yes, so there we go. And bishop black. Okay, bishop white, bishop black. Place the R with the B for both these. Also, we need to change the name of the functions to bishops and knights. Okay, that's good. So now we've got load knights, load bishops, and then we just have to do kings and queens. So let's just copy and paste these last two things. This looks organized. It looks very, yes, it's annoying that I'm separating them into each their own little function, but I feel like this is going to make it easier for me long term. So here, now we have queen. Yeah, so we have queen, queen white, queen black, load queens. Okay, queen white, queen black, WQ, BQ, and then we're going to do king white. Okay, we got king white, king black, load kings, then king white, king black, so then, yeah, the Q and then UK. So capital K for king. Okay, so we've got all of those. So first we're just going to see if all of these load. Do all of these load? Okay, so they're still displaying only pawns and rooks, but we're going to fix that. So first, okay, the white pawn was loaded. The black pawn was loaded. The white rook was loaded. The black rook was loaded. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make sure that the main program loads all of the pieces. So, okay, so here we are. So, okay, we're just going to remove this printf statement. We're going to comment it out anyway for now. We're going to load the pawns, the rooks. Okay, okay, pawns, rooks, knights, bishops, queens, and kings. Okay, so now that we've done this, we're going to see, do they all load? Okay, so we see that the white pawn was loaded, the black pawn was loaded, the white rook was loaded, the black rook was loaded, the white knight was loaded, the black... Okay, I get it. They're all loaded. Nothing is incorrect. Everything is perfect. It works. Okay. So now all we have to do is we need to add for this part that draws the pieces. Okay, so we're going to do texture. Okay, so first of all, the texture. We're going to do this. Okay, so first we're going to, texture night black. Okay, night black, bishop black, texture queen black, and texture king black. Okay. And then here's what we're actually going to do. To make it simpler, let's copy this. Let's copy this section here that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to copy this section, and then we're going to replace this section here within there. And then paste. And then okay, first of all, as it is, let's see how it works. Now they're all black. See, now they're all black. That's because we forgot to change it to white. So now we simply change each of these 6 pieces to white. So we have pawn white, rook white, knight white, bishop white, queen white, and king white. Okay. Look, all of the chess pieces are in their proper squares. They are perfect. They're absolutely perfect. It displays everything right. Everything is absolutely fine. Yeah, absolutely everything is fine. All the chess pieces are displayed in the program. They all load correctly. Then they're all displayed correctly. Interesting. Now the question remains. Yes, the question remains now. How do I move the pieces? By what means will I do this? And okay, I'm going to do that. But here's what, before I do that, That means we're going to go back up to GitHub and we're going to back the files up again. So what I like to do is I like to close the terminal, I like to close the text editor, and then I'm going to go over here to Chast. I back up to my GitHub a lot, okay? I do a lot of this. So we're going to upload all of the source files, just the source files, make sure all the source files. If we're re-uploading something that hasn't even been modified, that's not a problem. We're just going to go with it, okay? So then we need to make sure that the files, the actual image files, so piece 90, okay, piece 90. All right, there we go. Okay, so we're going to so we're going to add a file. We're going to do so piece /90 / readme.md. Okay, here we go. I'm going to write a markdown file. Okay, Chastity's Merida chess set 90 pixel edition. All the chess pieces are their own separate file for loading and debugging. Okay, there we go. So we're creating that file here. We're just creating a README file there. And now we've done that. So we see a README and it displays here, displays it just right. Now we're going to actually upload the image files. So everything, this is actually a really good example. We're going to, we are uploading all of this. We are uploading all of this. We are totally uploading this. Uploading all 12 image files so they can all be downloaded. So if anybody's watching this, all the source code, this is all public. All the source code that I'm uploading here, this is all open source. Everything. I believe in open source. That's what I do. Like, that's totally what I do. I'm a computer programmer. I'm a chess player. I believe in open source. And this is where it gets interesting because I feel like it would be a good idea to also have the, should I also have the SVG files here? I should. I should also put the SVG files here. So what we'll do is that they're Merida SVG on my thing, because just so that I knew that it came from the Merida set. But we're going to to keep it simpler and so there's no space in the name. We're just going to do piece SVG and then readme.md. Okay. All right. The original SVG files from which the PNGs were created. Okay. Yeah, we're just writing a description there of what is in this folder. Yeah, that's the important thing. The README is helpful. A README is just it's a GitHub thing. If you name something README.md or even README.txt, like for plain text, it'll still work. So now we're going to upload these 12 files. So one of 12 files. Okay, all 12 SVG files unmodified, exactly as they were when I used them to export to PNG. They're all here. So now they're all our own script files. So now I have a permanent record on this GitHub repository, PGN Chase Chest. So it's starting to take shape. Like, the program is actually starting to take shape. So it displays things. Now, what I haven't figured out how to do yet, because now we have a working program. If we go here, we have a working program. I can double click on it, and then it displays all the pieces on the chessboard there. And I think what I'll have to do in order to keep this short, though, I think I will just have to end the stream here, because it's going to take me a long time to think up how how am I going to move the pieces? I need to figure out the math behind that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to close absolutely everything. And then I'm going to, oh, History Boy. Hey, History Boy. Looks like it wasn't that long ago you commented. I see you, History Boy. Can you hear me? What did you think? Were you watching my chess programming stuff? I was doing some cool chess programming stuff. Let me know. I'll wait a bit before ending the stream. Yeah. I don't know if History Boy is still watching or not. I have no way of knowing. But let me recap. I'm going to go back to camera only mode. And what I was doing, you see, is working on this chess program. I wrote this chess program. The idea is we have the chessboard. It creates a window. We have the chessboard, and we're drawing the pieces to their correct locations. And I copied some old code from another project in order to get started with it. But what I want to do is I want to move the pieces, have a function that moves the pieces. But based on that, and then it will do it a certain way. So I'm still trying to figure out the proper way to do it. I have ideas, but it could take me hours of off-stream time that is just going to be just me sitting here thinking. So that would be very boring. That would be very boring. So since I'm not getting any more comments right now, I feel like the proper thing to do would be should I do my beginning theme song, and I forgot to do the beginning theme song for this stream. I think I forgot to do it. So I could either do the Chess for All rap, which I usually end with, or I could do the beginning one, Chastity's Chess Challenge. Okay, I think I'll just do the ending one. I think I'll just do the ending song because the rap just seems like what I'm in the mood for right now. So I'm just going to do that, and then I'm going to end the stream, okay?
Play our game. Everyone can join the same. Pieces move their timeless dance. In chess there's always a chance. Kings and queens on either side. Pawns advance with humble pride. No one's left out in this fight. A game of skill, no dark, no light. Chess for all, chess for you. Every move, it's something new. No matter who or where you are, in this game we're all a star. Black or white, it doesn't matter. On this board, no walls to shatter. Rich or poor, we all belong. In this fight, we're going strong. Even if you've never played, there's no need to be afraid. Anyone can learn this game. That's why chess has so much fame. Male or female, gay or straight, at this table no one's late. Every voice and move unique, all together we are sleek. Anyone can win this game, but when you lose, feel no shame. Even masters make mistakes, all your games are just remakes. Each new player finds their style, when you find it you will smile. Books and courses help us learn what we need to take our turn. Chess for all, chess for you. Every move